seminar and all those things.
Oh yeah, because those days were are days I cannot forget in a hurry. You know.
So doctor has done very well.
Wonder, that's good, man. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much.
Yes. What can I say? As we prepare to go live, backstage with Sir Kunle, my own classmate at law school, and then we have Nanama already. I'm going to be welcoming each and everyone as well. We're going to have a beautiful interjection today, and how we on Voice of London television with a feed to Voice of London radio and all our social media handles can help Mother Africa. Today, I also raised the issue of the IDF. Was it the IDF? No. That is I think I'll talk about the demonstration in London and the issue this demonstrated have with ethnic minorities. All these issues we need to look at. It's about time we start to build our own motherland, Africa, so that these nonsense demonstrations against we, the ethnic minorities, will be a thing of the past. I don't understand, because when you look at life itself, it's about having a place to put your head, and then probably having some food to eat, and maybe a job to keep you by. I don't see why this should be a problem, and African cannot fix it, and some countries need to bully us. We need to be looking at these issues, because I'm sure Mother Africa can fix these things and will not be a laughing stock to the developed world. Because I'm sure if every African has to leave the Western world will collapse. And they don't realize that. And sometimes we need to say the truth and say it into their face. Because the West was built at the backdrop of the slave trade, colonialism, imperialism, and all that. So it's about time those far-right sentiments organizing these demonstrations in the middle of London or in the center of London realize that if it wasn't for the black man or the Asian or the slave trade, colonialism, and imperialism, Europe and the West will not be where they are. It's about time they are called total respect, 100% respect. We'll be looking at that as well. But let me go and then do the normal protocols and courtesies as usual. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Voice of London television with a feed to our radio station, Voice of London Radio. You also pick us up on all our social media handles: Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Spotify, iTunes, and so across the whole global world. My name is the humble Nana Osagyeo. But if you want all the African titles, then it is Nana Osagyeo. That's simple. Kuntum kunuku sasraku etelepeji zangazanda de patakari nana nyankupo ndikosia. You better believe it. That's the apple of God's eye, or God's apple eye. Utakia udembe bupiu bikram. Wow. It's all about objectivity and looking at issues from a due diligence angle, and of course impartial angle as well, which we call the principle of the media, that is on due impartiality. We'll be looking at all that, and that is what makes Voice of London television a unique medium, and of course an authentic medium. Yes. Let me salute my special guests that have all joined us in the person of Sir Kunle. Kunle, welcome to the show, and thank you so much. Kule, you need to unmute yourself and respond. Okay, Kule hasn't unmuted yet, so let me go to my own partner in progress, Sir Adams. Adams, welcome to the show, and great to have you as usual, serving the diaspora, serving the Pan-African community, and of course, believing in the objectivity and principle of undue impartiality. Thank you once again. Welcome, Sir Adams.
Thank you very much for having me on this wonderful show. But you forgot to mention one of the name after Egbe, you have to add the Otaki or Nambebu say,
Adams, you are trying to bring back the good work we did for the community, the selfless service, and of course, serving the community to the maximum. The service continues unabated, and the show continues unabated.
Thank you very much, Nana.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Let me welcome Dr. Mensah, our medical doctor, on our panelist, Dr. Mensah, JB. Dr. JB, can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir.
Great, great. Thank you so much, and we appreciate you. Dr. JB is a young medical doctor, selflessly sacrificing himself, sometimes after surgery, after hospital and doctoring activities. He rushed to make sure that those of us in the diaspora, those of us abroad, can get that balance in terms of the current affairs program and other related issues. We have the new sports and other issues as well. I think tonight, let me welcome Lady Nanama, but I think she's got a network problem, so we'll wait for her. Tonight, from the sports angle, there is one of the biggest fights of all time. We have Crawford against Canelo, and this had been billed as one of the biggest fights ever. So we look forward to the winner of that fight, and I'm sure tomorrow we'll all be discussing that fight from our sports desk angle as well. Before we continue, let me also go and welcome our beautiful social media handles, those who have joined us from that angle. We have, let me take it from the top because we need to appreciate them. They've always stuck with us. The social media handles, members, please comment, share, and subscribe. We have Sir Prince. Thank you so much, Sir Prince. We have KKB. Thank you. We have Susie Daku. Thank you, Susie. Beautiful lady indeed. Cecilia Osei. Yedawasi Bebre. Thank you so much, Cecilia Osei. And then we have Angie. Lady Angie, we thank you. Freddie MK. MK12 Freddie, we thank you. We also want to thank and show acknowledgement to Foster Jabbar. We thank you. Bismarck Owusu, thank you so much. Bismarck. Mercy Shilewe, across the whole global world. We welcome you, Mercy. Glamour Grand 7, we welcome you. Kofi Mireku, we welcome you wherever you are and wherever you are watching us from. We welcome you, Kofi Mireku. And then we have Sister Rose Favor. We thank you for joining us. And then we have My Valley. We thank you so much. We have Boss Lady from Kenya, all the way watching us from Kenya. Boss Lady, thank you so much, and we acknowledge you and appreciate you so much. Beatrice joined us. We thank you so much. Nice Lady Beatrice. And then let me scroll. Yeah, we have Osofu Andy. Thank you, Papa Sofu. Yeah, that's it, baby. Yes. And then we have Festus Sibitoye. I hope I've got the name right. Yes, it's across the globe, so some of the names are very heavy. We have to manage it. We thank you, Festus Sibitoye. Thank you so much for joining us. And then we have Oscar, Sir Oscar, thank you. Yeah, we appreciate you. Lady Abwajiwa Kena, yeah, this is what she said. She said she's joining us from Achimota Petroleum in Accra, Ghana. Thank you so much, Abwajiwa. We are so proud. Thank you for you all watching us live. And then we have Ella Rai Garden. Thank you. We have Sise Decor. Thank you so much. And then we have Rascat Radio. Rascat, thank you for joining us. There we have the man himself, Prince Screw, the CEO of Rascat Radio. Hey, Sir Tech Knowledge 85. This is a guy who is always joining us, and I would like to also acknowledge him exclusively because when it comes to the weekdays program, he's there. We have this prayer marathon program that we do during the week evenings, and Tech Knowledge 85 is always there. Mr. Tech Knowledge 85, we appreciate you so much. And of course, thank you for being a member of our team and audiences. We are one big family for the Pan-African cause and the motherland. All right, Sherita Harrison. Okay, Sherita, welcome. I'll continue with the names because we've got a long list, and I'll try my best to go through that because the show must continue unabated. Yes. So, as I said, we welcome our special guest. As we all know, we'll start with, of course, the local news that we have at the diaspora or abroad, which normally we'll say is the international news, okay? Before we go to the motherland, yes, before we go to the motherland news. Let me go straight and welcome Godfrey Asante. Godfrey, how are you? Godfrey, unmute yourself.
I'm doing good.
Thank you so much. Yes, for always sacrificing yourself and putting yourself, and you know, in the limelight and making sure that we get the appropriate news headlines and everything. We appreciate you, Godfrey. Those of us in the diaspora abroad definitely appreciate your time, your sacrifices, and everything. And we also look forward to having you in London, UK, you know, one of these days. So welcome, Godfrey Asante.
Thank you. And I was a little bit late because we did bring the whole of today, so I was just outside doing one or two things. That's why I was late.
Okay, no problem. That is appreciated, and even your joining us is great. We appreciate you. Okay, so after acknowledging our social media handle audiences and my special guest, once again, I would like to say that we have one of the biggest film premiere that will be taking place in London, United Kingdom. The same premiere was produced by a very humble medical doctor, Dr. Pipra Jemfi. And the film title is called Legacy Africa. It's just been premiered back in Ghana and things went fantastic. In London, it will be premiered on the 3rd and 4th of October at the Picture Houses Cinema, that is in Hackney, East London, United Kingdom. East London, United Picture Houses in Hackney, London, United Kingdom. And the Picture Houses, time of the film will start exactly at 7 o'clock. There will be a red carpet prior to the start of the premiere. So those of you who intend to come in your numbers. The tickets are going so cheap, and that is £15. £15 at the door. So please get all it's a family film, okay? Children are also welcome. And the British Board of Film Classification, the BBFC, is going to classify it as a family film. So the whole family members can come. This is one of a lifetime. And from the picture houses in Hackney, closer to the end of October, the film will also be shown in Leicester. For those of our brothers and sisters in the Midlands, it's actually a multicultural film and a family film. The film was shot in London, and then the other bit was also shot in Accra, Ghana. So it's a cross-cultural film, and it's a wonderful film, and you don't have to miss this one. It's a big one, and a family film. And so it's a film for all, and that is Legacy Africa. Okay, so make sure you keep the dates, 3rd and 4th of October. The Leicester venue will be confirmed, TBC, to be confirmed, okay? And that is also in October, later October. And then the film will come back to London at the Benny Grant Center in North London. That is also TBC, to be confirmed. I'd like to also thank our songstress in the person of Evelyn Hart, who has also come up with a debut album. This is a wonderful gospel music. It is well, and a must for every Tom, Dick, and Harry. Make sure you visit your Spotify and iTunes and all the streaming sites to hearken to this beautiful debut album by Evelyn Hart. Wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Nana Osagyeo, and you are watching Voice of London Television. Let's go straight and, of course, look at some of the items that is taking place on the international scene, as usual. Sorry, bear with me. As you know, the diaspora weather is changing. We just enjoyed our summer, and as usual, every good thing must come to an end. We are entering into the winter. No, into the autumn, then winter. Yes. So bear with me with the change of weather and everything. Yeah. So some of the headlines from the international scene, yes, is that we had a killing of one Charlie Kirk. Okay, and Charlie Kirk is a far right activist, and his killing, as mainstream media have taken to this killing, and it's almost on every screen. Okay, so that's the Charlie Kirk killing. I'll bring you excerpts of it later on. Yes. Now, another headline from the U.S., we have President Trump of the United States, ready to sanction Russia if NATO stations stop buying its oil. This Russia-Ukraine war is a bit complex. Some of us that have a background in research understand that it's not just a simple invasion. It's something that it's got a bit of complex. We're not going to go into the nitty-gritty, but the Russia-Ukraine war is not just a war by Ukraine and Russia, but it's a war that is being fought from all fronts. So that's where I like to leave it. Let's look at another headline from our European news desk, which is part of the international desk on Voice of London Television. New NATO mission to bolster eastern flank after Russia drone incursion. It's still to do with the Russia-Ukraine war. And then we have from Latin America, Colombian court rules Meta was wrong to bar porn stars' Instagram account. And that's another interesting one. This is coming from Latin America and from our international news desk. Now, ICE agent shoots dead man who tried to drive at agents, and that's what officials say. And we all know what ICE is doing in the US. They are tough on immigration, and the president stands on immigration. So the ICE are really targeting illegal immigrants in the US. That's some of the stories coming from that part of the world. Okay, so we have the first world AI minister will eliminate corruption, says Albanian's prime minister. Yes, another AI thing. All right, so let me quickly switch and go to the rest of Africa, because that's another interesting take, because we all know that the rest of Africa has got a very serious issues when it comes to Mother Africa. So from our African news desk, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Iron Lady of Africa taking a shot at Ivory Coast presidency. And let me take an excerpt from this one. We have former Ivory Coast First Lady Simeon Gbagbo has gone from hiding in a bunker in an attempt to avoid arrest to definitely announcing she will run for president. In an extraordinary comeback, the controversial 76-year-old was this week surprisingly allowed to contest October's elections, calling on supporters to help build a new nation. For years, Gbagbo worked side by side with her ex-husband Laurent and was considered to be the power behind his throne. Now, with a criminal conviction and a divorce behind her, she takes a center stage as a presidential candidate in her own right. Gbagbo was Ivory Coast's first lady from 2000 to 2011 and was dubbed the Iron Lady due to a reputation for toughness. So she was the Margaret Thatcher of Africa. Anti-apartheid heroes' new inquest should lead to justice. Biko family. We all know the story of Steve Biko's death that caused a global uproar. And so that's the headlines coming from that part of the world. Nigeria chef attempts to make world's largest pot of jollof rice. There's a large pot of jollof rice. The Nigerian jollof and the Ghana jollof, as we all know, has been competing for the #1 spot. And I'm sure when we come to that later on in our discussions and interactions, Kule and Adam, Doctor, and the cast will all take, we all opined on the jollof, the best jollof of Africa. And of course, Nigeria pilot test positive for alcohol after plane veered off runway. So these are some of the interesting news coming from Africa. Burkina Faso, from West Africa, Burkina Faso, have actually scrapped visa fees for African travelers. So Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso is welcoming every African and every black man, waiving every visa fee. What a powerful man. Congratulations to Ibrahim Traore. Okay, looking at the Fatal Dam collapse. How do you restart from nothing? That's an interesting one. Let's look at the Fatal Dam a bit, because that has caused a bit of an uproar. The threat of flooding once again looms over the city of Maiduguri in northeastern Nigeria. A year after torrential rains and the collapse of a dam left entire neighborhood submerged in water. For many residents who are still bearing the scars of last year's floods, the possibility of a repeat has created huge unease. So we'll be talking about the Maiduguri dam collapse And what is the government of Nigeria doing for those people that lost everything? The pride of Ethiopia, what it took to build Africa's largest hydroelectric dam. This is a very important topic. Now, the vastness of the building site was at first overwhelming for the young Ethiopian mechanical engineer. Hundreds were already digging the foundations in tough conditions for what is now Africa's largest hydroelectric dam, straddling the Blue Nile. The dam will help electricity the country as well as provide power to the regions. This has been a bit controversial because we all know Egypt has also stepped in to actually complain and voice out their dislike to this dam because they fear that will disrupt their dependency on the River Nile. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, let me take the last one let me take the last one from Kenya. WADA says Kenya non-compliant with anti-doping code is actually, let me read the actual excerpts. The World Anti-Doping Agency, WADA, has alleged that Kenya's anti-doping agency, ADAC, is not compliant with its code and the East African nation will face consequences next month unless certain conditions are met. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, those are the brief news items from Mother Africa. And let me go straight to my colleagues on the screen before Nanama and Lady Julie joins us. Kule, let me start with you. Can you hear me? Are you hearing me, Sir Kule? Let me go to Adams so that we can quickly sift through the headlines. Quickly.
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Kule has come on, yes. Thank you, Kule, for coming on, and we appreciate. Yes. There was a big demonstration on the far right. Let me stick with London. Let me stick with London before I digress. Yes. There was a big demonstration in London regarding the far right. As we all know, and most minorities were told to stay home. Your take on that, Kule?
Yeah, I got the message a bit. I think it was on Friday.
Yeah.
Somebody sent me that a message about minorities and blacks should stay as far away from the city, and in some possible hotspots where the people suspect that some people may come out and do some damages or some kind of an attack on certain groups of people, especially blacks. But yeah, what do I have to say about that? Well, people should stay away, try to stay safe, because nobody knows. We already know what may happen in the beginning. We don't know where it may end or what may happen. So people just need to try to stay as safe as possible. We don't want a situation where people will now get attacked, and But of course, I believe in the Metropolitan Police to do their job. Should, in case something blows out of proportion, people need to go about their business. People need to go to work. But as the Americans say, it is what it is.
Let me go straight to Adams. Adams, your take on this 21st century and yeah, go on.
Yes, they need to protest, and the protest. If you believe in democracy, everybody has got a right to protest. But the message of the protestation and the demonstration is what we need to look and see why these people are angry, why they are protesting. It is becoming a trend that the far right is taking over countries like United Kingdom, France, Germany, and then now the biggest headquarters of it all is United States of America. Things are going haywire, but if we look at how things are going now, it is becoming very hostile for ethnic minorities, especially the blacks, to live in countries such as this. You see, after the COVID, when they needed people to come and look after the aged, they gave a lot of visas to Nigerians and the Africans, including Ghanaians, to come here. When the market was saturated, they started this nonsense of they've taken our jobs, they've taken our jobs. But the jobs that were given to the Africans, which of course the African government have spent money to train their doctors and nurses. And unfortunately, most of the nurses comes here to work as healthcare assistant, and they get treated badly. They are not talking about those monies that the African nations borrow to train their doctors and nurses and teachers to come in this country and be treated badly. So Tommy Robinson and his people who are not willing to go to the fields and touch the grass are now protesting that their governments have been very weak and have allowed people to come in, forgetting that all these problems in the Middle East and the Africa are being fomented and caused by Tommy Robinson and his government. Therefore, sometimes I will not blame them much. But I blame our people, our government. I'm from Ghana. I will take Ghana for instance. Look at the amount of money the previous Ghanaian government borrowed from the international market. And look at the little but nothing that they did in our country. How can we create employment for the youth of Ghana, for the people of Ghana, to get work to do in Ghana so that they will not travel to these countries which has got nothing but always been faced with abuses. You see, so sometimes this is a wake up call to some of us that look, we've lived here for several years. What have you been able to achieve? It's high time some of us started getting our footprints at home. Because when you look at the African nations, most of the African nations, the black African nations, there are no minimum standard. No minimum standard. And in every institution that you haven't got a minimum standard, development and structures becomes very, very weak. So this is a wake-up call.
Thank you, Adams, and that's some salient points there, because I'm sure if Africa has got its systems right, Africans with the beautiful weather, the land mass, the arable lands, and they've got all the basic amenities, a welfare state, things are running well. No African will ever travel to come and endure the winter, the autumn, the spring, and all those nonsenses. So it's sad that sometimes people like Tommy Robinson, they don't look at the bigger picture, because it's at the backdrop of the black man, slave colonization, imperialism across Asia, everywhere that built most of this Western world. And so I can share your point, Sir Adams. Let me go and then welcome Dr. John Mensah before I go to Godfrey Asante, and then we have Nanama. Doctor, before I come to you, let me welcome Nanama, because I've welcomed everybody and I haven't welcomed Nanama. Lady Nanama, can you unmute yourself and welcome to the show? Okay, whilst Nanama tries to unmute herself, JB, you can come in.
Okay, good evening to you, and good evening to my fellow guests and panelists. Honestly, concerning the UK demonstration, I don't have much information regarding their desire or the reason why they're doing demonstration. But as my colleague said, in a demonstration, in any democracy, demonstration is allowed. So if one group feel that they are being undermined, they are being sidelined, they have the right to protest. One thing I've realized about European democracy and Western democracy is that it's actually an art, yeah, particularly an art to sense the signal to the rest of the world that they are actually practicing democracy. But reality it doesn't happen. Example like the US, they have the deep state. The deep state runs the country. So if you are US president in a country, we don't actually control anything in the country virtually. Just continue what's happened. The war in Ukraine was begun by the Biden administration. Trump has continued. About three British prime ministers have taken over, from Boris Johnson to the Indian and this guy, and they all keep sending weapons to Ukraine to go and bomb Russia. And so in UK, no matter the protest, I don't think anything will happen because the deep state and the Israeli back architecture that control the system, and the Rothschild Foundation, they control the system. So the demonstration will not actually yield any result unless we tackle the roots.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was Dr. Mensah there. So African leaders, basically, Doc, what the demonstration is saying is just a target to the ethnic minorities, and I think that's something bad. I don't think that the right for assembly, which I know is enshrined in the UN as well, United Nations treaties and articles, doesn't mean that with any foolishness anybody can get up and do demonstration. I think that it's about time the states and the world will look at some of these demonstrations, because the United Kingdom is one of the most multicultural countries in the world, and I'm sure if every ethnic minority has to leave the UK or the US or any of the Western world, those countries will collapse. And so we need to look at it from those angles. Unfortunately, African leaders haven't been able to fix the motherland, and so African or ethnic minorities will always face such utterances from the far right.
Let me add a little bit to what you said. Right after the EU elections, after the Brexit, a month or so after the Brexit, we saw what happened in the United Kingdom, whereby the fruits were rotting on fields. The tanker drivers all migrated to Germany and other European nations. The truck drivers all ran away. The government was asking for people to be trained to become immediate truck drivers. They were importing healthcare assistance from Nigeria, Ghana, and Zimbabwe, and so on and so forth. So you see, but it's high time we, the ethnic minorities, to realize that this is not a place that we can always call a home. The home is whereby you see your own kind in abundance. We've worked so far, we've traveled so far, we've worked so hard. Look at an 80-something-year-old Ghanaian woman who has stayed in this country nearly more than, her age is even more than the half of those in parliament now. But they still frustrated her when she was traveling from Ghana to United Kingdom with a British passport, with the children born and bred in this country. So, Nana, can we say this is our country anymore? No. We have to find a way of making a very good footprint for our children to walk in our own country, whether we like it or not. We haven't got infrastructure in this country. The black especially doesn't have any infrastructure in this country. And for that matter, we need to make our way back home.
Okay, point taken there. Let's now, because of time, let's switch to the motherland news items from both Godfrey and Nanama, and then we can look at a couple of items. Let me welcome Nanama officially, because I haven't had opportunity to welcome her. Lady Nanama, Beautylicious and Beautylina, how are you?
I'm good. Sorry for the cutoff. The network, it rained here, so it's not stable. From yesterday to today, it has been raining since, so I'm so sorry. Good evening to all of you.
Yeah, but Nanama, I thought you went to have some quick fufu and light soup. I didn't realize it was the network.
By this time, no, I can't eat by this time.
Oh, okay. All right, okay. All right, so that is Lady Nana Ama and of course, aka Beautylina. Godfrey, Godfrey, you can hear me?
Yeah, Nana.
Okay, what have you got for us from the motherland? Brief news items, and then those that you couldn't mention, Anama can come in and top it up, and then we can go back to Kunle, Dr. John Mensah, Adams, and the rest of the panelists, and then I'll be reading out what our social media handlers have also been commenting on, and then. But before you do, Godfrey, let me just continue the welcoming them because there's lots of them. Okay, we have Lady Pinky Dior. Lady Pinky Dior, welcome to the show and great to have you, acknowledging you to the maximum. Let's go to the next one. Mickey, welcome. Appreciate you. And then we have another guy. Okay, another guy. What a name. Okay, acknowledging George Nyantechi. Okay, I remember George Nyantechi, you know. George Nyantechi used to be with us in London. We used to call him GQ. So GQ, thank you so much for joining us. And it's good that you are now settled back in the motherland and doing so well. That's George Nyantechi. Okay, one of our own. Lady Mercy Siat. Thank you for joining us, lady. We have Nanadra. Hey, Nanadra Sika. Now it's Nanadra Sexy. Thank you, Nanadra. Beautiful lady, Nanadra Sexy. Thank you for joining us. And then we have Maxwell Young. We appreciate you. Whilst Godfrey Asante Ejay prepares for the news bulletin from the motherland, let me big up my people a bit. Cecilia Osei, welcome. Nana Pokuya, welcome. Lady Marie C, welcome. Prince Boachi, welcome. James Muchain, welcome. Nana Pokuya, welcome. DJ Bombshell, welcome. Marie C, Solomon, Rose Archery, greetings to you. Michecha Mubebre, greetings, and we appreciate you to the maximum. King Malakiya Music, we greet you. Modiahai, we thank you. Doris Ajay, saluting you to the maximum, Lady Doris. And then we have Ebony VIP, we thank you so much for joining. Simon Ekuban, hey, you see, Boss Bakope is with us at Ekuban's restaurant. That's the Chief Executive Officer of Ekuban's restaurant. Those good old days. Simon, welcome to the show, and we salute you to the maximum. And so, Sarita Harris, 66, welcome. The rest will continue mentioning you, but let's go and take the news items from Godfrey, and then Nanama Beautylina will top it up. Yeah, Godfrey, Asante Ejay, let's go.
Yeah, Nana. Thank you very much. Let me start from today. Nana, I think all of us know timber market. Earlier hours of today, some part of timber market were swept through fire, and there was so devastating that firefighters have to come from various cities and other parts of Accra to contain the fire. In fact, according to the Ghana Fire Service, a suspect has been picked up for investigation. They believe he was caused or he behind this fire outbreak. So timber market was today. People of timber market were so shocked about this fire outbreak. Nana, let me also go to the presidency. Our president on this week had its first media encounter, and I know say all of you are aware of various questions and answers. The one that got the media attention was the issue of Galamsey and those who have been insulting, let me put it that way, using the social media. In fact, the president said he's going to trace the IP address of these people who sit on the social media to insult leaders and other staff in the country. So, but people were also raising concern when the president became aware of this, because when he was in opposition, there were so many NDC athletes who took on the social media to insult and other stuff, and he did benefit from that. So they don't understand why now he's trying to track all these people and arrest and prosecute them. So Nana, there's other issues about the Galamsey. People are also not happy about president answers to the issue of Galamsey. You know, the Galamsey issue has become one of major problem facing this country. But people believe president answers are not enough, because there was a question, or there was yes, there was a question that how he can fight with this Galamsey. People are just raising issues that since he took office, the gold pawn institution has raised a lot of money through these gold issues. So how is he going to deal with? But the president's answer was that the land has been already destroyed, so we should just benefit from it before other any measures is taken in place. But that's when people have started asking questions why president is talking or giving this kind of answer. Is it because now he's benefit from this gold issues? So Nana, these are one of the stories that is making the airwave. Nana, the upper upper West Dentra, that's the upper Dentra area around the central region. The police command around the area has arrested 33 Nigerian nationalities and other 6 people for sex trading. You know, this has been one of the issues. A lot of people have raised concern about this, that this is what the Nigerians are doing in this country. In fact, the Central Regional Police Command has made arrest of 39 people, let me put it that way. 33 being Nigerian, and is 6 people also from this country. So now these are one of the 2 stories that I can just give it out.
Okay, thank you so much, Godfrey Asante Ejay. Interesting there. But Godfrey, with the social media insults, what's your take on that?
Dana, I have certificate in IT, but I don't know who did this president about using the IP address to arrest people who sit on social media, because a lot of people don't use Ghana IP address to go on social media. There are so many VPNs that people use. So that's as for me, that answer I'm not too clear about it. I don't know how the government is going to do about it. I was just thinking that the president used facial recognition to arrest these people. If anybody is trying to sit on social media to insult
Yeah,
leaders,
but
when it comes to
yeah,
Ghana, for instance,
like the
now this
advance,
insult on social media has become something that we cannot bear off, because everybody now, when you go to TikTok and other stuff, normally I don't go to TikTok. I don't, not that I don't have TikTok account, but I normally don't go there because of certain things and other stuff. But you'll be seeing people posting videos and other stuff insulting leaders, including our chiefs and our kings here, which I find it problematic, because these people that we are insulting, some has a lot of credibility and that stuff. If you have issues, just criticize them in a good way. But to insulting, that's what I find it at least a little bit worried. But for president arresting these people and prosecuting them, you can't use the IP address, Nana. You can't use the IP. You can't even trace the IP address because a lot of people don't use this IP address or don't use even Ghanaian internet. Me sometimes I don't use the IP address to even join the social media, so you will find it difficult to even trace me and arrest.
Yeah.
And this,
The issue is
Godfrey, can I come in? Can I ask a question?
yeah. Go
So,
on.
yeah,
which network do which network do Ghanaian use for their internet? Some of this, because any computer that you log in anywhere, if you are using an internet, a service provider in a country, immediately you enter in, it generates an IP address. Therefore, wherever you are, you can be tracked. Even if you are using the satellite internet providers, I can buy a satellite internet provider, but as long as I go into any airspace, I enter into any computer, I get an IP address which can be traced by the authority to locate me. Which of the IP addresses are you using in Ghana that cannot be located by the communications and security intelligence in that country?
thank
And
you. Thank you.
why do you think that those who are insulting shouldn't be traced and arrested and bring to order so we can have serenity in our country when it comes to political discourse?
Thank you, Adamu. The reason why I said using the IP address, they will find it difficult is that, as you said, most of the people using internet here is the MTN because the MTN has the numbers than other telcos. But people use VPN. All what they need is to get the service of the telcos that they are using. You can connect your VPN and your IP address will change. When you are using VPN, you can connect. I can connect the VPN address to UK, having the IP address from UK. So you find it difficult to trace because they don't use normal internet. Let's say MTN or Telecel or the other telcos. I don't think you are. I don't know whether you are getting me because before they will come out, they connect
Anyway,
the
let me.
VPN and the VPN will change the IP address.
Um, can I come in? I think
Yeah,
that one of the things that we also have to know is that this technology, um, which we know is mostly handled by the United States, the DARPA, they are so advanced that, I mean, people can get around the IP and try you. But if they want to find you, they can find you. If they want to
Easily.
find you, they can find you.
yeah.
Easily.
I'm coming. I'm
That's
coming.
what I was
No,
just saying.
I'm
Can I
coming.
please,
Let me land. Let me
Let me
land.
finish.
Let me.
Please let me finish. That's what I was just saying that they should use the facial recognition. If I sit on social media insulting, my face is there.
Yeah, but what I'm
Unless the
saying,
person doesn't live in Ghana.
no, you've made that point. But what I'm saying, when you go deep into the technology, let's take the UK for instance. The UK communication headquarters somewhere in Hertfordshire, the United States, DARPA. Sometimes the technology is so deep that we think we can get away with it. But when sometimes you go to court and these people reveal certain things that you've done on your phone as evidence against certain criminal offenses, then you realize that no matter how we try to scheme or they have the technology to track it and even
Yeah,
no, I
yeah,
understand what you are saying, but don't forget that all that you are saying, the same human beings and skilled technocrats that design
yeah. Always have been saying Google has ears, but Google cannot speak. Whatever you do, when I get your phone, I can even recall some of the videos and pictures that you have deleted from your phone. It always go to your Google Drive. You see?
Yeah, but
So
what I'm
this
saying is that beyond that, there are
yeah.
technologies and
But people change their IP address.
let's we've got a point where the president wants to crack down on the social media insults. Let me go to Kunle, then I go to Doctor. Yeah, Kunle. What do you make out of that? President, unmute yourself, Kunle. Okay, let me go to Dr. Mensah.
Yeah. I'm here.
Okay, yeah, Kunle.
I'm here.
So, what do you make out of the president of Ghana trying to curb social media insults unnecessarily? Because you see, people will always abuse a system if it's not regulated. And that's why we have laws. If you leave human beings without any law, then we are not animals, we are human beings. And so, being human beings, we need the laws to make sure, rule of law will apply so that there can be some sanity. Anything you leave just to the public without curbing it, it tends to be abused. Kule, this thing is not just Ghana. It reflects on the whole of Africa. What's your take on that?
Okay. We since we can all agree that demonstration, freedom of speech is part of the tenets of democracy. I'm I'm not the one that will be on the side of gagging and gagging people from saying whatever. The idea of a president. To me, I believe that presidents or people that are in leadership positions that want to come up with gagging, and they don't really have anything better to do. Really, they don't. Because if these guys are truly busy doing trying to deliver the dividends of the so-called democracy, you wouldn't worry about what people are saying. Let people say whatever they want to say. And if you believe
No,
uh
My brother Kule, look at the way the African use the social media. It's uncalled for. In China, they have the TikTok. But if you go to China, the way the Chinese government and the Chinese people use TikTok is for productivity. It's not for commercializing sexuality. It's not for commercializing something that will bring destruction to our children's education and our lives. So we need to, in everything that we do, we have to have laws that governs it. That does not mean that you gag the social media. No, we don't gag people, but we regulate it. If we regulate it, we get things to be done perfect. Look, BlackBerry was stopped once in the United Kingdom after this boy in Tottenham was killed. And it was alleged that people used BlackBerry to get around the system to organize massive demonstration all over UK. BlackBerry was a thriving mobile device, a telephonic communication device, but it was stopped within 1 month. That company went out of business, and then the demonstration starts to slow down. You see, so in everything we do, we need to curb it. We used to have a law in Ghana called the it was a media law. It was a law that
Okay,
Criminal libel law.
I think you.
criminal libel law.
Criminal libel law.
Criminal libel law. Akufo-Addo came irresponsibly when they made him the attorney general, took it to the parliament, and criminal libel law was repealed. When criminal libel law was repealing, they did not replace it with any progressive law that allowed the Ghanaian media to become rubbish, that we never had a minimum standard. That is as a result, now we are seeing what Ghana is seeing today. We used to have a very responsible media because whatever you are saying, you will be held accountable when you don't hold your responsibility as a media personnel. So everything that we do, when we were practicing in Ghana, you have to do follow-ups. You have to give the right for the person to come and clear himself or herself when you've said something that is not right. And you have to do in-depth research before you go on air to make any statement or to cast a news. But what we see today, somebody will sit in his room, slap his thigh, write a story, and then go on air and cast it.
Okay. On that note,
I have not been able to finish my school
okay,
of thought.
finish,
I
Kunle.
was interrupted. But anyway, like I said, I'm not the one to gag anybody. Let anybody come out and say whatever. I repeat that again. Let anybody come out and say whatever. Going forward, the responsibility of government is to put infrastructures in place, and of course, the judiciary must be ready for what's coming as well. If anybody comes out and defames, of course, there's always repercussions, and people need to face repercussions for what, for their actions, for what they say. That's the end game. Okay, come out and say whatever, but by the time you are worth about, maybe your whole life you are worth about 10 million, and then you defame somebody, and a judgment comes from the court, and you are going to be fined, or you are going to have to pay damages to the tune of 100. Maybe when that happens to one or two people, that is the end game. So yeah, you have the right,
Yeah.
but your right ends where ends where somebody's rights begin. So since we are talking about that, one of our prominent guys in Nigeria, I'm sure you've heard of him. He's one of the presidential candidates, Showore, and you know Showore he's the one that started Sahara Reporters, that actually exposed most of the corruption that has been hidden from the world, the Nigerian politicians, and even our military, our ex-military leaders who have stolen the country he actually came out. Listen to this. I'm actually watching something on my TV screen on Arise News. Showore's criminal tweet. What was the tweet? Nigeria free speech on trial. What was the tweet? He called our current president a thief. And then one of the special advisors, just like many of our they came out. Oh, you have no right to call the president. They are eating under him. They are doing whatever under him. But now people are having a debate. For me, Showore is still the man. For me, he's the future president that I'm looking forward to, because we need a lot of our ex-politicians and military leaders. We need them in prison. They've destroyed our country. And you know what happened when the special advisor they used to be together years ago as activists, and he told the special advisor to the president, "You know me very well. I'm not going to retract what I said. I'm not going to withdraw that tweet. Do your worst." And what do I say? Showore is still my man. Take him to court. Take him to court. There are consequences for actions. If the matter goes to court and is found to be liable, of course there are consequences to his liability for using the language that he used, calling our president a thief and refusing to retract. So that's the debate right there. Me, how I feel that our leaders are really not busy. The consequences to getting things done, because even the judiciary that is supposed to do their job have also in the pockets of the politicians. In Nigeria, I cannot speak for any other country, but for Nigeria, it's more than likely that even if the matter goes to the courts, the judges are not going to be fair, because they've all been bought. They've been given Prados, Range Rovers. They've bought them mansions. You think most of those judges are going to go to court and act fairly? No. So we have a lot of work to do in Africa, starting from Nigeria.
Thank you, Kunle. Let me go straight to Dr. Mensah. Doctor.
Okay, good evening to you, good to you and my fellow guests. Okay, first of all, I must say that I wasn't impressed with the president's answers to the questions. I've always been a staunch supporter of NDC and a staunch supporter of the president. But for the first time, I must say in particular that I wasn't impressed with President Mama at all with some of the questions and the answers he gave to the questions. For example, let's start with the what is a statement that he's going to track people with their IP address and get them arrested. As my brother Adam Awudu said, when PPP came to power in 2001 under Kufuor's administration, the criminal law was repealed. So under that law, if you insult somebody on social media or radio station, it's not a criminal offense. There's no criminality as to any verbal statement you make as to somebody after the criminal labor law was repealed. So if you make any comment about anybody, the person will not appeal. The person is supposed to go to court and file a civil suit and demand for compensation. That's the defamation. So I don't know how all of a sudden Abanya DC have been arrested because he insulted the IGP. And if you look at the excessive strength, excessive bully by which the Ghana Police Service is handling Abanya's issue, I think it's completely appalling. Even though I've been a pro NDC guy, but looking at how the Ghana Police Service is abusing Abanya DC, dragging him into a vehicle called a Black Maria, and as if he's a terrorist, Osama bin Laden, or ISIS, or a killer leader. And I think we are getting to a level where our president or executive arm of the government is becoming excessively authoritative. As I said, per the laws we have in Ghana, the current law, as Parliament repealed the criminal labor law, if somebody make a comment about you on social media or insult you, it's a civil case, it's not a criminal case. Police should not come and arrest you. Whoever that statement was made against is supposed to get a lawyer, go to court,
Okay,
and file application and defend competition.
Doc,
Hello.
yeah, did you listen to the full Abronia utterances? Was there any threats? Was there any threat to anybody's life that could also lead to probably the attempt to see if they could bring a criminal this thing? Because it's not just speaking that tantamount to civil. Sometimes
Yeah.
threats can also tantamount to criminal.
Yeah,
So, have you
yeah,
listened to the full statements?
yes, yes. I've listened to some of the almost all the statements he made. It wasn't actually threat, but it was insult, and the insult he made were completely appalling. And I'll
Okay.
not defend him in any way because for you to come and insult the
No, I was just
IGP,
trying to find out if we are.
Nana, I think we are getting two things here differently. You see, our criminal code of 1960, we should be progressive. We should start reviewing some of the criminal code's conduct. And in every country, laws evolve. In the United Kingdom, it's one of the most aged democracies in the world. But they've been able to change their laws due to progression, dynamism of human. Now we've got some laws in this country that is called a hate speech. We are perfect democracy. Nothing is perfect, but in this country, democracy is absolute. So if I sit on this television,
There's the anti-Semitism and all those.
if I sit on
Carry
this
on, you carry
television,
on. Yeah.
if I sit on this television and say something, I haven't acted upon it, but I could be arrested and sent to jail, and I'll be sent to court, and the court will remand me, and they can use the terrorism law to charge me. Hate speech are speech that you make that would infuriate or that will cause problem in terms of agitating or exciting people to do something against other group of people. So when these things are happening here, they find out a way and means to curb those situations in this country. Therefore, people become more responsible. We want to see those things in Ghana. It doesn't matter whether Abronya was put in a helicopter and sent to the cells from the court. I saw some people demonstrating deplorably, nonsensically, were there when the police were getting this guy off the car. They were even almost on the neck of the police. And I was saying, if I were a member of that security personnel, I'll match you all, I'll lure you there, and then you be incarcerated for perverting the course of justice, which is also in our criminal code. If you are perverting the
Okay.
course of justice, you are an accomplice to a crime. You
Yes,
see,
Adam.
we
So
have to do that.
let's go take
Okay.
maybe Godfrey want to say something. Godfrey.
Can I? Yeah. Finish my statement. I'll be glad. Yeah, if you can allow me to finish my statement.
Okay, Godfrey.
Okay. In conclusion, I'll say that I will not support. I will not support or defend anything that Abonye did. The statement that he made were completely appalling, and you cannot accept or defend whatever he did. But I feel that the force they are applying is excessive. I also like to comment on the president's response to fighting of corruption. There was massive corruption allegations and some with concrete evidence during the previous Kufuor's administration. Look at the land looting. Almost all the land come to me, they sold to themselves. Government bungalows, they sold it to themselves, demolished and they are converted into private properties. According to Ofosekwachi, $97 million went into the cathedral, National Cathedral. That money have been wasted, one that they drain. Per the Auditor General's report, Kenofurata transferred almost $5 billion in 2019-2020 foreign accounts. That would have gone out the drain. So you're expecting that the second coming of GM is going to provide accountability, hold politicians responsible, so they can have value for money and invest the resources of the country in countries so that to serve as an example for others. All of a sudden, I think that in 2020, the MPP passed a law called play bargain or something. And then NDC want to fall for it. And now, instead of them to actually prosecute them, take measures for them to be punished severely, to serve as an example or a deterrent to others. They are following they are following for the MPP tactics. And it seems now you are not seeing any prosecution or any diligent action being taken by the counter administration to get people punished for the corruption. And this isn't what I voted for. This is what I was supporting. And if this happens, it's going to create a conducive environment for corruption to
But
actually
doctor,
continue.
if you heard the president, he said some cases have been prepared and they are ready to prosecute. They will be going to court soon. So let's give the president some time, because if we don't do that, we will take people to court and all the cases will be thrown out. They need to do thorough investigation. These people are criminals. They are syndicate. They are criminals. So they have to prepare thoroughly and send them to court. And don't forget, the court, the justices, as Kule said, the lawyers, the judiciary has been compromised. So we have to do a proper work to get a solid evidence, solid concrete evidence to prosecute. Otherwise, we would not be able to achieve the aim that I understand that law. The corrupt lawyers within the NDC has been warned. They've been warned that look, we want to retrieve all the looting money, and we want to punish. Otherwise, people within the NDC, you will do the same thing, and then you go and
Yes,
say plea bargain. So we
yes. Now
shouldn't.
I'm
The
saying that.
president was emphatic. He was emphatic
Okay,
that anybody that has taken something
Adam
will be held
said,
accountable.
allow doctor to come in. Yeah, doc.
Okay. Now I'm saying that if people are not punished very well, it's going to create a precedent for people in NDC to also continue, and that wouldn't serve the supreme interest of the nation. And the Galamsey issue, I think when MPP was in power, the executives of MPP, Chairman Wuntumi, Kejimfo, do actually the forerunners of forerunners. And when NDC came into power, it seems quite unfortunate that some few executives of NDC have actually also into the Galamsey. The people, the military men who are deployed to the Galamsey site end up taking money from the Galamsey and allow it to continue. I have friends in Takwa who owns the excavators. What they do that the people who want the excavators and rental, they have meeting regularly. They make contributions and get money and give to the military men and the Galam stop. The military command, they give them money, and when they go to society, they don't do anything. So I think it's becoming a national security trust. When the president deployed the military to the side, what the military is they take money from this Galam and allow it to continue. And that's also becoming a very difficult reason why both governments are not able to fund it. So I think that it's having a very serious impact on our environment. And if this thing continue, there will be no Ghana for the next generation. So whatever the government can do, I think that they must do everything possible. And the city depreciation, let me know the city depreciation. The Bank of Ghana intervened. When the Bank of Ghana intervened with our own foreign reserve, inflation dropped, the city stabilized, and the IMF, the Western imperialists, whereas that other African countries are going to do the same. What they did that they threatened Mahama behind closed doors, serious threats behind closed doors. And after they came publicly and threatened the Bank of Ghana and the government of Ghana to stop intervening, the primary responsibility of the government of Ghana is to serve the interests of the people of Ghana. So if government to use our own money, foreign reserve, to actually stabilize the city, reduce inflation and make life better, why not? But the lungs arm somewhere, the people in black suit, the deep state, those in Jerusalem, Tel Aviv, and Washington, New York, who control our system, are the very people behind this and causing our distribution. And we have to come together as one people to fight it. Thank you.
All right, Godfrey, you've been quiet for a while. You want to make a point before I go on to the next item?
It looks like it. At the moment, my brother has said all. I said it all.
Okay. Let me go on to the.
I just ended with the CD depreciation. The reason why IMF came in was that after the central bank has injected or has tempered the CD depreciation, people were still having issues because goods and service were still at the same old price. That's when the IMF came in, that upon all the intervention, goods and services are still high. So I think not as Mr. Mensah was even saying it, but it's good that the government decided to at least come in to intervene. But we should also look at the effect. Did it make any impact on ordinary Ghanaians? That's where the question lies. That you also need the answers.
Petroleum, prices was good. Cheaper to did some reduction of the transport fares. It wasn't all that massive, but at least there was a little elevation in the price.
But
At least
Mr. Mensah, hold on. After the reduction of fares and other stuff, they still charge the old fares. Going from Accra to Nsanwem, at that time it was 15 cedis. They are still doing it. They are still doing it. If you like, one day just use the commercial vehicle and see how you suffer.
You see, the problem is not governance.
Mr. Remu, please let me finish. That's what our people have been doing. In every situation, they want to benefit from it. They don't want to sacrifice. Ghanaians doesn't want to sacrifice. On every situation, they want to benefit. That's what has become the problem in this country. So, what the IMF was saying, I sometimes disagree, but sometimes I also agree that upon government intervention, the goods and services has not also reduced. That's the most worried part of it. After government intervention, even government came out and said that people has to reduce their goods and services, and up to date, you have not done that. That's my worry. You see.
So you see, you now believe that 1981, 82, 83, when they were doing control pricing in Ghana, was legitimate and was a good cause for concern. Because the Ghanaian businessman is a criminal.
And so continue.
It's a criminal. So the government, yes,
a very good cause.
Yes. What I'm saying is, our governments, because now is becoming numbers warranted government, but not thinking warranted government, is becoming that a section of people can threaten the whole government and say, look, if you do this next 4 years, we are not going to vote you. Nonsense. To hell with your vote. Keep your vote. I'm going to do what is right. There should be a price control in that country. I did say that, yes, there should be a price control. We should have regulators and we should have ombudsmen working. So if cement, if the clinker has been reduced, the dollar has been reduced, it should be in line with what the reduction implies. It
Yes.
should affect wages and salaries of people in the country. It should affect paying of bills in the country. So why is it that we are here? I used to send 1,000 pounds, which will earn me about 200 million or something. And now you send it, you get 140. If I was going to buy cement then, it's the same amount of money that I'll be using to buy cement in Ghana now. But I'm at a deficit. I'm at a loss. So why should that happen? In as much as the government is putting good financial policies in place, internally the market should also reflect what the government is doing. So if the market is not reflecting, then the government should also come in and say, look, this is what I'm doing, so you have to do it, whether you like it or not. It should be this.
So, Mr. Demu, now we have gotten why the NCA is fighting with multi-choice, because the minister said the city is not has its grounds so that they should reduce the effort. But the multi-choice are still insisting that they cannot
They haven't got the right. The government should, the minister should bite the bullet.
So
that is
yes.
what we need to do.
It will close down. It will close down.
This is what I was just saying, that if
You
indeed
shut down. You leave the
government
country.
has coming out with good policies, monetary policies that is helping the country, people are also in the view that those policies should reflect, and they are not reflecting.
But
Now,
let me ask you, Godfrey, are you only picking certain items, or because we over here abroad also are family members back in Ghana, there are so many items that have also reduced.
Now, this on a you see, this is not equalization. You see, as you said, we have family members living back home, so our pocket reached Ghana. But what it is the government has done well by reducing, stabilizing the city, or making the city stronger. But it is not reflecting as we were expecting to see. Food prices in Ghana are much more expensive than food prices in United Kingdom. Some hotels in Ghana are very expensive than hotels in United Kingdom. Transportation in Ghana is is expensive than transportation in United Kingdom. Cost of living in Ghana is high than it is in Europe. Our purchasing power is much more bigger than that of Ghana, but cost of Ghana is very high. It's very high, Nana. We should be realistic. The government should do something. He has made the currency powerful, therefore it should reflect on our day-to-day budgeting and our purchases and supply and demand, and then purchasing of goods and services in Ghana should be also reflected.
Okay, let's go and then speak to our. Okay, before we do that, quickly, Nanama, are you there?
Yes, please, I'm here.
I know you are so calm and observing everything. Before Nanama, you give us the rest of those bulletins. Let's go to the Upper Dentra issue that Godfrey raised earlier on. 33 Nigerians and 6 Ghanaians arrested for sex trafficking and sex trading. Sex trading and prostitution has been one of the oldest businesses in the world. And so Kunle, Dr. Godfrey, and Adams, who wants to take it up?
Okay, I want to come in quickly, but this one I'd like to share a life experience that I have, a short story. I once went to work as a drug school. So in the moment I entered my gate, a girl followed me, and a girl followed me. Said, "I beg you, please help me, help me." I said, "What's the situation? Should I pay to Nigeria or go to Ghana police?" I said, "Why if I said Nigeria?" So what's the problem? He said that my neighbor, that's the next house, he living in the house of a certain guy. The guy deceived her and brought her from Nigeria that he come to assist her to get a job at the filling station. But unfortunately, when the guy brought her from Nigeria to Ghana, things have changed. What the guy is that he has actually seized the girl, kidnapped the girl in the room, bring men from outside to come and have sex with her and charge the men money. So this was happening. And I started to investigate and read that this is the first guy he have been doing. He have been doing this several girls. And after he had detained them for some money, when they make the money, then release the girls will go to the streets in Ghana and they will begin the sex trade and prostitution. So what I did that I picked the girl in my car, drove the girl to the nearest police station, informed the Ghana police service. I picked the policeman in my car. We came over to come and look for the guy and arrest the guy. So I paid for a guest house for the girl to sleep in the guest house. The following day, I took her to a cycle to board a vehicle to Nigeria, and I paid for the transport. We couldn't prosecute the guy because, according to the police, the girl must come to court to come and testify. And the girl, through that period, he have to get somewhere to stay because he can't stay with the guys. So I have to go to a feed until whenever the court procedure will end. So this is a personal experience, a personal life experience. People kidnap detain people from Nigeria, deceive them from Nigeria to come to Ghana, promising them juicy jobs, and when they come to Ghana, they detain them and force them into prostitution. It's a personal experience that I had about 3 years ago.
Okay, guys, let's go to Nanama for Nanama to give us that. I think one of the things that I'd like to say before Nanama comes in is that it's about time those of us from the Pan-African World Union, we need to really hammer it home for all the African Union and the African presidency to put in place a better system, a welfare state, a better system. I don't know how much it's going to cost. I think I need my engineer to look at the sound, the effects that are coming through. Okay, it's gone down a bit. So that a simple bedroom, flats, arable lands to grow food, agrarian type of economy, and people should have jobs or create a buffer system where people can rely on when things don't go well. Because I don't see whatever is happening in the West, why can't Africa have say? I don't get it. Anyway, so let's go to Nanama. Nanama, what have you got for us, Nana? And so apologize for keeping you waiting, Nana.
Oh, no problem. It's all part of the show. So,
Thank you.
okay. So today in Obuasi, there was a gas explosion, which left many out of their houses. Yeah, a filling station in Obuasi. The place is Kunkam Junction in Ashanti region. So people had to run from for their lives from their various homes.
Okay.
And also, there is this 60-year-old staff of NADMO who died. He died at Mampong. His name is Kwame Obing. He was found dead a day before his lost. He's missing. He was missing. The next day, he was found dead in the river. So he was drowned from the river. Investigations are still ongoing to find out what really brought his death. And police has also intercepted an ambulance loaded with substances suspected to be cannabis in Accra. So the vehicle was leaving from Pando to Accra. And then the owner of the vehicle has been arrested, still in police custody for further investigations. There is this WASI student who has lost a child, a 3-month-old baby. She left her child for the baby's father, the baby's dad, so that she can write her Monday paper. She came home and then saw the baby with the boyfriend's younger sister. And then when the baby was given to her, she realized that the baby was stiff, so she had to rush the baby to the nearest hospital. But unfortunately, the baby was already dead before she brought the baby to the hospital. So there are investigations ongoing. And Abuaje is the name of the baby. Kwabna Abuaje is the name of the baby's dad. He is now in police custody for further investigations.
Okay. Thank you so much, Nana Ama. We are tight with time, so I'd like to plead with my special guests and my audiences worldwide, our social media audiences, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, iTunes, Spotify, and also the others as well. Those of you who have been very patient and watching and enjoying the show to the maximum, once again, want to thank you. Let me give my panelists a minute each to run up on tonight's program. Yeah, Kule,
Yes.
just a minute for us to run up. We are tight with time.
Okay. Anyway, what do I have to say then? Yeah, today's program was quite educative. I learned a lot from my colleagues, and yeah, let's keep the free speech agenda going, and whatever is needed to protect, quote unquote, the hostile free speech that may lead to the kind of tragedy that happened in the US with Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
Let's try to keep the tension low. And as I always say to some of my people, and like a program that I used to watch as a very little boy in a British comedy called Mind Your Language. Always let us try to mind our speech.
Yeah.
I know we have a lot to say, but in order to not inflame, let us try to be as civil as possible in our utterances. That's all I have to say. And
Okay.
I say thank you to everybody that has contributed today.
All right.
And
Thank
let's
you
do this.
so much, Kunle. Let me go straight to Mr. Godfrey Asante. Godfrey.
Okay, Nana. As I've been always saying that whoever has been given a position, you are not there for your own gains. You are not there for your personal interest. You should have the country at heart. You
Yeah.
should have Africa at heart so that we can build a better Ghana, build a better Africa. But
Yeah.
Nana, before I'll allow my other colleagues to come in, Boko has been, issues of Boko has been, I don't know why Mr. Ademu is laughing, but eventually the youth of Boko has signed a peace pact in Ashanti region, and we are all hoping that as they have promised to cease fire, it will continue that way. Thank you, Nana.
Okay. Miss Adams, 1 minute.
Now that Godfrey has allowed us some time to talk, we will talk.
Hey,
The
why?
problem with the problem with the sex trade in Ghana is what I'm going to say a little bit about it, and then I'll also end up my conversation tonight. But it's been a very wonderful show. But the sex trade is abhorrent and is very bad. I think we should have. I know the WAJO and the police branch of that department has got laws in the country that prevents sex traffickers. It is happening all over the world, not only in Ghana. It is happening in the United Kingdom here, and they are clamping down on it. So if the Ghanaian government will make sure that they clamp down, because some men are very evil and they play on the weak individuals for their success. which is not legal. So if these Nigerian young ladies are being brought into our country to be used as to be trafficked for that trade, I think the Ghanaian government, in collaboration with the Nigerian government and senators, should work collaborative to get these criminals put to trial, and the right should be done so we can protect our women folk, whether in Ghana or in Nigeria. We should try and do that to prevent this evil trade.
Thank you, Adams. Yes, I know it's ladies first, but today we want Anama to wrap up for us. So let's go to Dr. John Mensah.
Okay. I'll say once again a good evening to you and a fellow panelists. Concerning the president's interview, I wasn't impressed with everything, but I hope there's more room for improvement. And he must do everything to ensure that our city is able to gain grounds and stabilize. For example, I imported a lot of medical equipment, which is really affecting me. The sex trade, I've been I've had a personal encounter with it, and I've helped people to escape to Nigeria and have their freedom back. I think it's continuing. So the law enforcement, the Ghana Immigration Service, should be up and doing the bull to ensure that people who engage in sex are brought to book. Thank you very much. But also, does Israel want to bomb Qatar? I was expecting that you're going to talk about Israel invading the territory of other countries. Maybe you're going to leave that for next week.
Yes.
Thank you.
Pick it up later.
Okay.
We are tight with time. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
So let's have our lady wrap up for us. Lady Nana Ama Butulina. 1 minute.
Okay. So I will say a very big thank you to all our listeners, our viewers, to everybody, the panelists. God bless all of us, and good night. Bye. I miss Mr. John. No, Dr. John. It's been a long time.
Yeah, long time. I was you're traveling in Ghana outside and crowd Kumasi everywhere.
Okay.
But I'm back now, so I've joined you
I
every time.
I can also explore like that.
Oh, no. I go to China in October. I can take you along if you want.
Okay.
Yeah, you are welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
So Nanama is the face of the female youngsters, and so she's embarking on the GIJ, and
Oh, that's great. That's great. That's great.
with our lady also at the Parliament House reporting, Lady Julie. So the two of them, yes, are going to be a powerful force.
So Nana, let's not forget which one is my sister, because the other time, is it? I've forgotten the name. Was it Godfrey, your sister? But is it Nanama or Julie or?
But why are you so interested in my sister?
I just want to see them.
Let me, Godfrey, let me come in. You remember, I just remember a story we should have done. And Godfrey, you didn't report it. Nanama didn't report it. Apparently, we had a lady at the SS, and I understand she's 19 years or so. And apparently, she got an exit saying she's going home. She didn't, and went to see.
Yeah, I have it in my stories, but because
why
of time,
you see? Okay, so Nanama, tell us. Okay, so basically, the girl went to the boyfriend. Unfortunately for the girl, the girl's dad had come to the school for a surprise visit and gave her something. And he was told the girl had taken Asia 3 days ago. And he was shocked because the girl hadn't been home for over 3 days. And her own friends tipped the dad that she actually went to the boyfriend. And the dad had wind of where the boyfriend is. So he took police and then went to arrest the boy. And when the girl heard it, the girl got pissed off, took a poison, and killed herself. Yes. And so
I'm asking
Doc,
Ghana, yeah, police and abusive Ghana police. If somebody who visit someone, on what guy did they arrest the guy? What
exactly.
kidnapping? If
And
the
they
guy
are
didn't
two,
report that,
and they are two
what
adults.
country they have to arrest them?
They are two adults.
Yeah,
The
two
guy
adults.
is 19, it's over 18 years. And I'm saying that these are some of this unnecessary police intervention. But anyway, the point I want to make, the point I'm raising with this case, the point I'm raising with this case is that I don't want Godfrey to fall in that category because I might send the BNI to pick him up for trying to ask.
But you are the one saying two adults here. So we are adults.
Anyway, it's all part of the humor. We thank you guys. It's been a pleasant evening. We want to salute and acknowledge all our viewers and audiences worldwide. And to you panelists, you've been so great. Kunle, of course, Godfrey Asante, Abudu Adams, and of course, Nana Ama Butylina. See you, and God bless you all. Once again, don't forget the film that is coming up. That is Legacy Africa is being shown live at the Hackney Picture House on the 3rd and 4th of October from 7 p.m. It's going to be a red carpet and it's a premiere. And thereafter, it will go to Leicester. And from Leicester, it comes back to London. Those 2 days for Leicester and London will be to be arranged, TBA, and to be confirmed, TBC. So keep it locked and keep watching Voice of London Television, the feed to Voice of London Radio, and all our social media handles. Have a very good night.
Good night.
Bye.